live. So I'm gonna, oops, sorry. So we're gonna go ahead and just get started, and then I'll just keep an eye out on the waiting room for if anyone who joins a little later. So whenever you're ready, thank you again, Officer Nuccio, for providing us with this valuable information.
Of course, happy to be here. I'm going to put up on the screen a PowerPoint. Hopefully we get this, square this away real quick. And share screen. Can everyone see that PowerPoint? All right. So I'm Officer Anthony Nuccio. I'm the Crime Prevention Officer for the 19th Precinct. Sure, I've met some of you at the center when things were normal. And I hope to do that again very soon once we get back up and running. I'm vaccinated, so there should be no fears with that. Today, I'm going to just talk to you about some basic safety tips and some things that are going on in the precinct, some things that are going on in the city that you should be aware of. A lot of it may be repetitive to some of you, but I always like to repeat some certain things because sometimes we just don't see it happening to us, so we may not necessarily think it's happening to anybody, but it is. Everything we go over in this PowerPoint, which I'll try to make lively, is actually items that have happened and are happening currently in the 19th precinct. So this is all stuff that's very relevant to us. So just know that it's not stuff that's happening in other states, not stuff that's happening in other parts of the city. It's happening right here on the Upper East Side. So we'll get started. That's my name. That's the 19th precinct where I work at. These are the topics we'll be going over today: mail theft, dumpster diving, phishing with a P, so that's PHISHING, stealing, your basic theft, pickpockets and such, phone scams, and ID theft. But before I continue, can everyone see this? Is everyone on a Zoom with a video?
Yeah, you can see it.
Everyone, okay. I just want to make sure if no one called in, right? All right, good. Because otherwise I'd go into explaining it a little further, essentially, if you couldn't see it. So we'll go over all these items, and then I'll take some questions, and we'll go over the other things. Mail theft. I talked about this a lot in the past. It's everyone's familiar with the blue mailbox on the corner. You mail your mail, you mail your checks, mail your birthday cards with gift cards or cash in it to your loved ones. This item is commonly used to steal the mail from that mailbox. And what this is we might see, it just looks like it is a rodent trap attached to a shoestring attached to a bottle of, looks like, orange juice. And what they would do, what they used to do when the slots were larger, they throw this into the mailbox, and the sticky trap would attach itself to the mail, and they'd pull it out. If they got cash, awesome. If they got gift cards, great. But if they got a hold of a check that you mailed, that's the jackpot for them. And why do I call it a jackpot? Because that check, and this is another picture of the orange juice bottle, that check can now be used by them. And I'll tell you exactly how it's done in a second. But if you have now seen, most mailboxes have been replaced with this new mailbox, which is just a slit. It makes putting a bottle in there much more difficult. And there are mechanisms inside the box that prevent most items from being placed in, like a phishing tool, such as the mouse trap or the rodent trap. But they still have ways of getting around that. Some thieves have gotten a hold of keys to these mailboxes. The United States Postal Service is working very hard to retrofit all the boxes with this anti-theft devices, but the thieves are always one step ahead of law enforcement, unfortunately. So if you do have to mail a letter, most boxes have this slot now. So use this box above all. But there's something else I want you to look for. Besides that slot, is this collections time sticker that's on every single mailbox. And this will tell you Monday through Friday, pickup times are, this is 4 p.m. Saturday, 11 a.m. If you are mailing something of value and you mailing it at 4:05 p.m. in the mailbox, I would advise against it. Go back to your home, mail the next day when you know it's going to be picked up, not sit overnight in the mailbox. Don't mail on a weekend. Don't mail on a holiday weekend. Don't mail on a holiday, because the mail is just going to sit in that box. And the longer it sits in the box, the more potential it has to be stolen. So be on the lookout for these collection times. And if you can do one thing and not actually use the blue mailboxes, but deliver your mail or your important mail to a postal office and handing it to a postal worker, or dropping it in the drop box that's inside of the post office, that's ideal. But if you do use a mailbox to mail out bill payments, here's a few things I want you to remember. Like I said, use the closest pickup time on the mailbox to mail. Don't deposit mail on weekends and holidays. I said that already. Directly dropping it off at the post office. And then if you are mailing a check, I want you to frequently check your bank account, making sure that the check you wrote to Con Edison is making it to Con Edison and not going somewhere else. So make sure your checks are ending up at their final destination. And we'll explain why in a second that's important, because these checks can be used against you in a criminal manner. If you are writing checks still, use a pen with pigmented ink, and that just means it's permanent ink. Many of these ballpoint pens many people use, like this one, the ink can be erased very easily with some nail polish remover or some acetone. So when you put that check in the mailbox, and if someone does steal it, they could take that check, dip it in some acetone, some nail polish remover, and the ink from this ballpoint pen will come right off. Now they have a blank check, and they can do anything they want with that blank check. They can write it out to themselves, to somebody else, to a fake person, and cash it, whatever it is. But now they have a blank check. So as you can see from this picture, putting in some nail polish remover takes most of the writing off of it. If you leave it in there longer, you leave it in there, the more the ink comes off. So they can have an absolute blank check, and doesn't destroy the check, the nail polish remover. The check stays perfectly dry once it comes out, and then they can write on it. So these security pens, they can be purchased at any supply store. Just ask for a pigmented ink pen or a security check pen, and you can buy them there. They're not very expensive. Hopefully I can visit you guys soon. I have a bunch of pens. Maybe I can drop them off at the center, and Gemma can distribute them once you guys start using the center again. But we have a lot of these pens. They're free, and take advantage of them. In the meantime, if you are using checks still as a form of payment, make sure you're using a pigmented ink pen to avoid them being washed, check washing, as we call it. If you plan on being away or going out of town, and you don't want your mail sitting in your mailbox, because mail has been stolen from actual buildings' mailboxes as well. So a couple of things you could do is you can request a vacation hold with the United States Postal Service. It's absolutely free. You just go to USPS.com and look for the hold mail service. You fill it out, and they will hold the mail for you at the postal office until you get back, until you say you want the mail delivered. So that's a great way of preventing any mail from being stolen from your mailbox. I know we just talked about mail being stolen from the outdoor mailboxes, but it's also important to secure anything you might be mailing from in your building, or mail that's coming to you. So vacation, USPS.com/hold mail, and you can fill this form out, and it's just absolutely free. The United States Postal Service will do that for you. Something else you can do is sign up for something called informed delivery. Now, this is great. If you want to know what's coming in your mail and what to expect, I get an email every morning. It says this mail is on your way to you. And the Postal Service is now scanning all of your mail, and they send you pictures of your mail. It's free. It's delivered to your email every day in the morning, and you get a digital preview. So you can see on the screen, this was a letter mailed to me, email that came to me from the United States Postal Service, and I saw that my Chase bill was in there, and my rent bill was in there. And I knew that those two letters would be in my mailbox either that day or the following day. And if I was expecting something like a check or a card from a loved one with money in it or whatever, I know now that the United States Postal Service had it, and it was delivered to me. And if it's missing from my mailbox, that means something went wrong and somebody stole it. So what's great about that is you know what's coming to you. And if there is any mail that's missing, you can make a report with the United States Postal Service, and say, hey, this is missing, and they can do an inquiry. But if it is a check, you can tell the person that sent it to you, hey, I didn't get that check you sent me, because I saw I was supposed to get it, and you can tell them to cancel the check before it can be used in a nefarious way. So it's great knowing what's coming your way. So sign up for that. That's also free. They're going to soon be doing packages, I'm told, from the website. So you'll know what packages are being delivered by the United States Postal Service. So take advantage of that, because it's a great tool. It's an easy way to report missing mail, like I said. Something else we wanted to talk about is dumpster diving, which is basically just a way of saying stealing stuff from your trash. People do that. Anyone ever get one of these in the mail? Pre-qualified Platinum Plus Visa credit card application certificate? I'm sure we all got them in the mail. We've all received them in the mail. It's a pre-approved credit offer. It has most of your information already printed on it. So what happens is you just throw it out because you don't want the credit card offer. But when you throw that out, now a thief gets it in the garbage, picks through the garbage, finds it, and there's always an option to change your mailing address on these forms. So if maybe you don't want it mailed to you, so the thief now changes your mailing address to his own or her own mailing address and signs up for that credit card offer, gets the credit card, and charges it up. Now it's under your name. They're using your card under your name to make fraudulent charges. So what I'm getting at here is make sure you're shredding anything that comes in the mail or that you have that you're throwing out, so nobody can use it against you. A lot of our personal information is on the mailings that come to you. Social security numbers, date of birth, name, all that stuff can be used to make fake accounts under your name. So whatever you're throwing in the trash can, make sure it's shredded. And the best way to shred it is with a cross-cut shredder, which is the shredder that makes the shredded items into small little confetti squares. Traditionally, you'll see the ones that are the long strips that they shred in, but the cross cut's the best way to avoid anyone getting a hold of any documents that are yours and using it or somehow seeing it, putting it back together. So the smaller the cuts, the better. And those machines you can buy like Staples or any kind of office supply store, and they're relatively inexpensive as well. And we also do a lot of shredding events in the city. I know a lot of the elected officials do shredding events. Sometimes the NYPD hosts a shredding event. So you have to, if you have to save some of your items to use in some of these bills and whatnot to shred, save them for one of the shredding events. Or if you want, save them, and if you don't have a lot of it, you want to bring it by the precinct, we have shredders here. I'd be happy to shred them for you. So that's how to protect yourself against anything that you may be throwing out. Now, phishing. This is a phishing with a P. It's a fraud, a scheme that's done through emails. And you all have emails, I'm sure, and you all get emails from people and sometimes companies that are asking for things. A lot of these scam artists will make you think they're somebody that they're not, such as the IRS, such as a bank, such as a credit card company. It could be anything, and they can do great deception over the internet. They'll create fake websites that look like official websites. They'll make fake email addresses that look like real email addresses, all with the purposes of collecting your identity. So if you receive some suspicious email that's asking you to input your personal information or click a link, don't do it. Because if that's a red flag that it is a phishing email, a scam.
You've got mail.
They come in all sorts of forms. These are all examples of emails that I have received personally, and I'm a cop, so everyone could be a victim of this. It's these emails. This one came from someone claiming a scammer claiming to be the Internal Revenue Service, and I know that the IRS does not email you asking to click on things for refunds or to access your tax refund. I know that, so I knew this was a scam immediately. And if you read into these emails a lot, you'll notice things like spelling errors and just the graphic on this. The Internal Revenue Service graphic is very fuzzy. For a company, for a organization that's a government-run agency, you wouldn't receive an email with a fuzzy pixelated image at the top. That's a telltale sign that this is a scam. So I wouldn't click on the link that says click here. I would delete it immediately. You may receive an email from a bank. Now I got this email. I don't have Bank of America, So I immediately knew this was a problem. And if you look at a few things in this message, um, dear valued customer, why is that D have a weird dash through the D? That's a spelling error. And if you continue reading it, it just sounds horrible. Your account has been temporarily locked in order to protect it. We observe multiple login, and then there's a giant space. Also, another problem with the grammar there. Login attempt error. Well, while login into your online bank account, we believe that someone else is trying to access your account. Please, capital S, sign in. So there's a bunch of grammar mistakes there, and it's going to ask me to click on that link to sign into my account. Scam. The minute I click that link, it brings me to a fake Bank of America website. Looks real. It'll have your username and your password login. You put it in there, and now the criminal has your information because you just logged into a fake Bank of America website. So that's one other example. Discover card. I don't have a Discover card, so they're asking me to click a link for I regularly schedule a maintenance. Again, I don't have Discover, but even if I did, and Discover emailed me something like this, and I read it, I know that this was a scam because it's asking me to update my account. They don't do that by email. Certainly don't do that by an email. So never click on the links. Like I said, delete it. If you have PayPal, or don't have PayPal, there's scammers out there pretending to be PayPal. Again, common thread here is they're asking you to click a button to log in. So again, that's a scam. Delete that immediately. Netflix. I have Netflix, but it's my parents' account. So I know that they're not emailing me. They don't even have my contact information. So this is a fake email from a fake scammer claiming to be Netflix. And it says your account is on hold. And if you scroll down further in this email, it will tell me to click on a link to update my account. And now that scammer has my information again. So that's what phishing is. Here's what you can do if you think you're possibly a victim of phishing, or you get an email and you're not too sure about. If you receive an email from someone claiming to be the IRS or the Social Security Administration, and they request personal information or taxes associated with a large investment or inheritance or some sort of lottery, anything from the IRS or Social Security Administration, if you receive one of those, don't reply, like I said earlier. Don't open any attachments. Don't click on any links. If you do that, that could infect your computer with a virus. Don't click on any links. And then you could forward that email, if it's from someone claiming to be the IRS or Social Security Administration, to phishing@irs.gov. And again, it's phishing@irs.gov. You could forward it to them and then delete it. This way, the IRS and Social Security Administration can know that fake email was sent, and they can actually have the government block that email from sending any future emails to anybody else. So if you receive any emails from anyone from the IRS or Social Security Administration asking about contact information or personal information, do not reply. You could forward it if you like to phishing@irs.gov. Delete it. Delete it. Delete it. Delete it, and don't click on anything. And that goes for any email that you get that people are stating that they are a company, a bank, whatever it might be. Don't click on anything. If you do happen to click on something and you realize afterwards that it was a mistake and it was a scam, contact the actual company or your actual bank and tell them what happened. And if you contact your bank and told them you may have been a victim of a phishing scam or a scam, they can close your account, reissue a new number. This way they can prevent it. They could put freezes up, and we'll talk about that in a second. But make sure you're notifying your bank so that after you clicked on a link, you're not further victimized. Now, there have been some cases lately that you may have read, people being robbed or items being taken from them on the street. Thankfully, there isn't any kind of pattern here on the Upper East Side of that happening. It's very random when it does happen, and we've made some really good arrests since the beginning of the year for persons doing this. But unfortunately, they do target a lot of our senior population. They go after somebody that they perceive to be weak or slow or whatever it might be, and they target them. And a lot of our seniors, I'll tell you, they put up fights. And I want to tell you right now, do whatever you can to keep yourself safe. But follow these tips first. If you're shopping, only carry what you need. All right. You do not need to carry every single credit card you own. You do not ever need to carry your social security card with you. Passport, don't have to carry that with you. Just carry what you need. Um, and keep a record at home of everything that you would normally carry in your wallet. So if something does happen, if you lose it or you're robbed, you know exactly what was taken. If you find your wallet was lost, stolen, and you could become a victim of identity theft very, very easily. So make sure you're reporting it immediately. Um, um, when you're walking, if someone attempts to snatch your pocketbook or take your wallet from you, just remember that can be replaced. Your safety is most important, and we want you to remain safe at all times. So, women, we recommend never wrapping your purse around your body. Keep it on just one shoulder and hold it in front of you. Now, we've had cases in the past where ladies or men are wearing a satchel or a purse and they wrap it around their body. And when a thief comes and grabs that purse, you're going with it. And now it turned from a theft into a robbery. And now you're injured and you're, God forbid, in the hospital. Or when we had a woman around the corner from the precinct a few years ago. She was on her way back from Hunter College, where she was still taking classes, and she's in her 90s. And somebody stole her purse, and it was around her body, and she went with it. And what was in the purse? $5 and a prayer card. Now, that was not worth falling and getting injured. So that's why I say whatever's in your purse is never worth it. And now you know not to carry your entire credit card stash with you and not to carry large sums of money with you. So wear it on one shoulder. Gentlemen, wear your wallets in your front pockets. So if anyone bumps into you, it's a lot harder to grab wallets from the front pocket versus if it's from the back pocket. It's very easy. So keep your wallets in your front pocket. That's where I keep mine. That's where most cops keep theirs, because you could feel it. So that's some basic safety information regarding walking to and fro. As the streets get more and more filled with people and more crowds, that becomes more of a problem. Easier for pickpockets, especially in supermarkets. If you're in a supermarket and you're shopping, do not leave your purse in the cart, not even for a second. You leave your purse in a cart and you're shopping at Whole Foods or ShopRite or Stop and Shop, or any of the grocery stores in the neighborhood, Gristedes. And we've had this happen numerous times. It happened a lot during the beginning of COVID and during COVID, but it started to pick up again. Leaving your purse in the cart or your push cart, and you turn around to grab a can off the shelf and turn back around and your purse is gone. Or you get all the way to the register and realize your purse is gone. So if you can't see your purse, that's an opportunity for a thief to take it. So never leave your purse unattended in a shopping cart. Never leave your purse unattended on the seat next to you if you're out dining. Never leave your purse unattended below your chair. Never leave your purse attended on the back of your chair. Okay? Always keep your belongings in your sight, on your lap, on your person, in a place that you can feel or see it. Because the minute you turn around, the minute you sit to eat, and you're in a crowded restaurant or a crowded cafe, that's when the items are stolen. And that's happening a lot here in the city, here on the Upper East Side. So don't leave anything unattended, and it's a lot harder for a thief to steal something that you're watching. All right. Something else that we're being plagued with in the city are phone scams, and you've all received them. I get them on a daily basis on my work cell phone. There's really no way to prevent these. The government's trying hard to do that, but you're still going to get them. I still get them. And we're going to go over a few of them. The thing you should know that they're all in common with these is they're going to ask you for money. They're going to ask you for some sort of cash or some sort of gift card or something that with money in it. If they ask you for money on a phone call, it's a red flag, it's a phone scam, and you hang up immediately. So,
phone scams involving Social Security Administration imposters are on the rise. When you hear Social Security scams, you think of seniors, but this scam is affecting people of all ages from all walks of life. Millions of dollars are lost every year. Here's what you need to know. If you receive a phone call appearing to be from the Social Security Administration, be it from a person or a robocall, it's very likely that this is a scam. Scammers use technology called spoofing to manipulate your caller ID so it displays the number of the Social Security Administration, police, or other government agencies. The caller may say that your Social Security number has been suspended due to fraudulent activity, or it's been involved in a crime like drug trafficking, or that your bank account is about to be seized or frozen. The caller may even say that there is a warrant for your arrest. Often you'll be transferred to someone who is impersonating an NYPD officer or another fake law enforcement representative who will back up the story. They will scare you into thinking the only way to safeguard your money or to avoid arrest is to purchase prepaid gift cards, such as Apple or Google Play. The scammer may request you send cash through FedEx, a Bitcoin ATM, or to wire money to a new protected bank account. This is a scam. Do not send payments under any circumstances. Just hang up. Remember, the real Social Security Administration, police, and other government agencies will never contact you by phone and demand payment or ask for your Social Security number, driver's license, or bank account information, period. If you've lost money in one of these scams, go to your local precinct to file a report.
So like I said, they're claiming to be everybody. And during the height of COVID, Social Security Administration scams were a big one. So was unemployment administration scams. So they'll claim to be anybody and everyone. And they usually
Phone scam.
They usually rely on fear to get past you. So no matter what they threaten on the phone, just remain calm. You're listening to this now from me. Just remember this, that the IRS and Social Security Administration will never, ever, ever call you demanding money or threatening your arrest. That does not happen. I guarantee you it does not happen. IRS phone scams are also a big problem. People pretending to be the IRS all the time, asking you to send money.
This is Officer Daniel Wiseman calling you from the...
I'm going to play an actual voicemail that I received on my phone of someone pretending to be the IRS. Listen carefully how silly it sounds now, especially the robotic voice. But the IRS will never call and leave a message like this. So just listen to this real quick.
This is Officer Daniel Wiseman calling you from the Legal Department of Internal Revenue Services. This is in reference to a criminal lawsuit filed against you. Your case number is CF 93271. The moment you receive this message, I need you to return the call. The issue at hand is extremely time sensitive. The hotline to my desk is 202-807-1004. I repeat it, 202-807-1004. Don't disregard this message. Do return the call. Now, if you don't return the call, and I don't hear from your attorney either, then the only thing I can do is wish you a good luck as the situation unfolds on you. Goodbye.
Do you hear how absurd that sounds? How could an IRS agent ever, why would you even, how could you even believe that? And we say that all the time when we're hearing it. And how can the people fall for that? It happens. It happens to the Harvard graduate, to the high school graduate. It happens to the 20-year-old to the 102-year-old. It hits every demographic. So I always say it's never nothing to be embarrassed about if you do fall victim to a crime like this, because they affect everyone. These persons or these scammers are calling back to back to back. They're sitting in call centers in sometimes other countries, and they're just calling and calling and calling until they get someone on the hook that believes them. And they work on fear. So they're going to do anything they can to make you fearful of them. So it's important to remember that anytime someone asks for money on a phone or threatens you on a phone, that it is most likely and definitely 100% a scam. So what should you do if you get a phone call like this? Well, number one is hang up. Absolutely just hang up. Don't return the phone call. If they leave a phone number, if you start hearing them talk and pretending to be the IRS or another government agency, just hang up. You could actually report IRS and Treasury related fraud scams to the IRS, and that's the same email I gave you earlier, phishing@irs.gov. Or you can call to that 1-800 number there on the screen, 1-800-366-4484. Again, that's 1-800-366-4484, and you can actually report that directly to the government as well. If you are a victim of a crime and you do send money somehow, call 911. That's us. We will come and take the report for you. But if you simply receive a phone call or an email and they're pretending to be the IRS, you can also report it to you report it to them. This way they can help maybe eliminate that phone number from use or eliminate the email from use. Never go out and purchase a gift card. That's another way these thieves get you to give them money. They'll say, go to the pharmacy down the street, Dwayne Reed, and buy three $100 gift cards there. Then they'll tell you to go to a Walgreens 2 blocks up and buy another $1,000 worth of gift cards. Gift cards, wiring money, or sending cash in the mail to anyone claiming to be the government is a scam. So do not do it. We're going to watch another quick video here.
Scam artists are pretending to be IRS officials to get your money. They'll call, email, or text you, claiming you owe back taxes or there's a problem with your tax return. They even rig caller ID to make the call look official. They play on your fears. They threaten to take your driver's license or sue, arrest, or deport you. They want you to pay fast. What's the truth? The truth is the IRS's first contact with you will always be a letter in the mail. It's not a phone call, email, or text message. They won't insist that you pay with a prepaid debit card, a wire transfer, or cashier's check. Now you know. If an IRS imposter contacted you, report it at ftc.gov/imposters.
If you lost money in this or any other scam, also file a police report with your local precinct. A message from the NYPD Crime Prevention Division and the Federal Trade Commission.
So that scam involving the IRS, how do you know I want you to know how the IRS will actually contact you. If you do actually owe money and the IRS legitimately is trying to contact you, you need to know how that's going to happen, just so you can help you determine whether it's fake or not. How will the IRS actually first contact you? Are they going to call you by phone? Absolutely not. Are they going to email you? Absolutely not. Are they going to send something to you in the United States Postal Service mail? Yes. You'll get a certified letter. You'll get a letter in the mail that explains that you owe money or whatever, what it might be. And if you get that letter and you're still not sure, bring it to an accountant, or someone that manages your money, and they can help you verify if it's real or not. But the mail is the way that they send most of their, if not all of their communications are done through mail. How will the IRS request that you ask them to pay? If you owe money to the IRS, how are they going to ask you for money? Not through a prepaid or debit card or a gift card, not from wire transferring money, and they won't actually require a specific type of payment. So it's not going to be through cash. It's not going to be through gift cards. They'll specify how it's going to be done through that letter in the mail and follow-up calls. So again, you're not going to get a phone call from the IRS. You're not going to get an email from the IRS, and they're not going to ever ask you to pay by credit card, debit card, gift card, or a money order. All right, it's very important to know that. Some other scams that are hugely popular are medical hostage and law enforcement scams. These are horrible. They'll tell you that they're with your grandson. They'll tell you you're with your son or daughter. They may even have their name, because again, that information's out there on the internet. They can find everyone in your family's names. So if you receive a phone call and someone says that your family member has been injured or in an accident and they need immediate surgery and the hospital is not going to render aid to them until you pay over the phone, scam. The hospital will never call you demanding money for treatment. They're going to treat that person that's injured and then bill you afterwards. And trust me, you'll get bills from the hospital. If they're gonna find you, they'll bill you that way. They're not going to demand money up front. So remember that in your head, that if anyone ever calls and said a loved one is in danger and needs medical assistance immediately and you need to send money, scam, hostage scam. This is a hugely upsetting one. This is when they call pretending to be a hostage taker, and they have your grandson, and you may even get a call. You may even get a call that immediately starts off with, "Grandma, I'm in trouble, help me." And then you say, as a knee-jerk reaction, "John, is that you?" Now you've given the scammer your grandson's name, and they'll use that in the conversation to trick you further. So now you think that they have his name, but in reality, you just gave them the name. So just remain calm if you ever get a phone call like this. No one's taking anybody hostage. It's a scam. Some other cases, they'll say, "Hi, this is Officer so-and-so from the NYPD. we have your son, he's been arrested. You need to send him bail money right now, or he's staying in jail. Scam. The police department, law enforcement agencies will never call you demanding money over the phone or by wire transfer for bail. Most bail has been eliminated now. So that scam is another huge one we receive a lot. People pretending to be us on the phone. They may even call from a number that looks like the NYPD, and we're going to go over that in a second. But any scams, again, that ask for money over the phone, hang up. And there's another quick cartoon video.
Granddad, it's me.
This is describing the, we call it the grandparent scam. And this is when they target elderly seniors, pretending to be that senior's loved one or family member. So here.
Granddad, it's me. An accident in Mexico. I'm in jail.
Jimmy, is that you?
Yeah, it's Jimmy. I need money for bail right now.
In jail?
You need to send money right now. Please don't tell anyone.
Scammers are tricky and can pretend to be anybody in any situation. They seem like the real deal. They play on your fears. The goal? To get you to act fast. Check out if they really are who they say they are, even if they sound like a loved one. Heard from an imposter? Report it at ftc.gov/imposters.
If you lost money in this or any other scam.
So as you can see from that quick cartoon video, it's a huge scam, so much so that the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, has made videos about it because it's happening all the time, and they will be relentless to get that money from you. So what should you do in a phone scam situation? Just hang up. The minute someone asks you for money, hang up. Like I said, the caller may have your family some information. They may say that they have your son or granddaughter hostage. They may have his first full name, but you just know it's a scam. Hang up with that person and try all you can to get hold of the family member that they claim to have there. They claim that's injured, and I guarantee you're gonna get a hold of them. That loved one is fine. It's a scam. So just hang up and don't answer them. Another scam that people are claiming to be immigration services, saying you're going to get deported if you don't pay up. That's a scam as well. Do not believe it. The United States Immigration and Custom Enforcement does not call and threaten over the phone that anyone's going to be deported. So that's absolutely a scam. And there's another one, the lottery scam. The lotto is a huge scam for people pretending to call, say, hey, you won the lotto, you won the sweepstakes, you won this and that. It's too good to be true. It is. Money isn't free. No one's going to call you one day and say you're a billionaire. So just be careful. Anyone calling claiming that you have free money waiting for you, it's a scam. A lot of times they'll say you need to send the taxes to claim your cash. So say you won $1 billion, but you need to send $2,000 or $200,000 or whatever it is in taxes to claim your $1 billion. And in reality, there is no $1 billion, and you're just sending that money, and now you're scammed. So be careful. Anything that seems too good to be true, it is. Here's another short. There's another short video on phone scams.
Let's say someone calls and says he's from the IRS. He says you owe taxes and need to pay right away by getting a gift card at the store. Should you do it? No, it's a scam. Government agencies will never make you pay with a gift card. Now let's say the caller claims to be from a tech support company. He says he needs to fix a problem with your computer after you pay him with a gift card. Should you? No, that's a scam too. Real tech support companies don't work like that or make you pay with a gift card. What if you get a call from someone who says she's a relative or friend and needs money right now? She begs you to go buy her a gift card. Should you do it? No, that's also a scam. Gift cards wouldn't help real family members or friends in a real emergency. Gift cards are for gifts, not for payments. Anyone who tells you to pay with a gift card is a scammer. And once you've shared the gift card number and PIN, your money is probably gone. So what do? If you have paid with a gift card, contact the company that issued the card right away, and then tell the FTC. Reporting to the company and the FTC helps us fight these scams. If you lost money in this or any other scam, also file a police report with your local precinct. A message from the NYPD Crime Prevention Division and the Federal Trade Commission.
So you saw it there. These scammers can even fake their your caller ID. If you have caller ID on your cell phone, which everyone does, or you have caller ID on your home phone, and it says that someone on that caller ID, like Con Edison, they say it's NYPD, it says 911, it says they can make this. They can make your caller ID say anything they want. They do that. So that's one way that they've tricked you. You get a call and it says New York Methodist Hospital or Lenox Hill Hospital or a hospital in Mexico or Con Edison or even 911. Sometimes they use our precinct's telephone number. So it looks like the 19th precinct. They can manipulate your caller ID to say anything they want. And that's another way that they grab you. So you initially see it says Con Edison on the caller ID. So now you think you're answering for Con Edison, and now they say a few things to make you think they're, even further they're Con Edison, and now you sucked in. So it starts from the initial call. If you have caller ID, don't always trust it. It can be manipulated very easily. So that's phone scams in general. We're going to move into identity theft. Some signs that you may be a victim of identity theft. If you are being denied credit, if you apply for a credit card and they're denying you the credit, if your bills are arriving late or not at all. And I told you earlier to check your credit card statements and bank statements frequently because of you may see items that don't belong to you on there. If you get bills from unfamiliar companies, and if you start getting phone calls from creditors saying you owe money and you're on top of your bills and you have no debt, those are all signs that you may have been a victim of identity theft. A couple ways to protect yourself from identity theft is placing a freeze on your credit. This prevents thieves from stealing your identity. And we'll talk about how to do that in a second. It's very easy and it's free. And what you have to do is you're going to have to call, write, or visit a website for all three credit bureaus. That's TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. It's free of charge, and it blocks any new accounts from being opened when it's frozen. So you freeze your account and nobody can open a credit card under your name or take anything out under your name. It doesn't affect any accounts that are currently open, so you don't have to worry about your active accounts that you currently have. And the freeze can be lifted at any time. When you create a freeze with 3 credit bureaus, they give you a special PIN. You keep that PIN in a special place, and in the event that you have to open any kind of credit card or take any kind of loan or anything like that, it can be unlifted very easily and then reapplied very easily. So just be sure to take advantage of this. It's free, like I said, in New York State. And then also advise you to check your credit report annually. It's free. The government gives you 1 free credit report annually. And this is the website. This is very important because there's a lot of websites out there that look like this one, but are not. And they do that on purpose because there are some out there that are charge you money to look at your credit report. So if you go to www.annualcreditreport.com, you can get a copy of your credit report on a yearly basis for absolutely free. And everyone should do that. You may notice things that are on your credit report that don't belong there. So you want to get that fixed immediately because it can take some time and it does affect your credit score. So make sure you're looking at your credit score credit report annually. And I want you all to do this. If you do nothing from today, I want you to do this. Contact Experian, contact Equifax, and contact TransUnion. Those are the 3 major credit bureaus. And I want you to set up a free credit freeze with all 3 of them. If you contact them by these phone numbers or go to those websites on the screen right now and set up a free credit freeze, nobody else can open anything up under your name without unfreezing it first with those pins that you're going to get from them. So this is completely free in New York State. It costs a few bucks in other states. I did it for my parents in Florida. It costs a couple bucks to do it for them, but in New York State, it's completely free. So why wouldn't you do it? And again, it doesn't affect any of your current credit cards that you may have. It doesn't affect anything you currently have open, but this will absolutely prevent anyone from opening anything under your name in the future. So I did this for myself, and I went to Macy's and I wanted to open a card because they were giving 10% off for new card registrations accounts. And I forgot that I did this. And at Macy's, I got denied because of the credit freeze. And I was like, forgot I did it, but I was happy that it actually worked. So I know this works. So Take advantage of it. It's completely free. I'll leave it on the screen a few more minutes if you want to take a picture with your phone or whatnot, or Gemma's gonna have this all recorded so you can play it back later on. But these are the 3 companies you have to, and you have to call all 3. You can't just call one. You have to call all 3 and do a freeze separately with all 3. So it's Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, and these are the trusted, the actual emails and the websites and the actual phone numbers for them. Okay. Anyone need more time on that screen? Because that's the most important screen. I want you to do this. It's completely free. I'm gonna move on. Now that's that cross-cut shredder I was talking about. See how it makes it into really small pieces? It's possible to put back together. So invest in one. You can buy it at a local office supply store. Just again, we repeat this. Be aware of your billing cycles. Make sure your bills are getting paid on time and you're actually making it to your bank or to your place that you're trying to pay it to, and not disappearing in the mail. Opt out to do paperless bill statements, just to have it all online. The less personal information that gets sent in the mail, the less better chances you have then of getting not getting scammed or having identity theft. So opt out of paperless bill. Make sure your passwords are all changed on a frequent basis. That should be done quarterly or yearly. Always update your passwords. I know it's a pain, and there are apps out there that can help you manage passwords that are in a safe way, but try your best to try to change those as much as possible. If you have a debit card, I prefer you use your credit card over the debit card, because somebody gets a hold of your debit card, they can take money straight from your bank account and it comes right out of your checking. If you take money from your credit card, that can be refunded immediately. And it's not your actual cash, it's just credit. So use your credit card as much as possible, and debit card as least as you possibly can. And again, don't give your personal information out to anybody. We're going to skip past this. This is about taxes. One further note about taxes, though. I don't want to put you through that video. It's kind of boring. Next tax season, the minute you get your tax returns and all your paperwork, file as soon as possible. This way, nobody else can file pretending to be you. Because if someone files before you, when you go to file, it becomes very difficult to do so, because now the IRS has taxes filed for you, and it's a long process to reverse that. So the faster you file your taxes during the tax year, the better chances you are not getting someone filing for you fraudulently. So file as fast as you can, and use a certified accountant or someone that you trust. Don't go for any deals online. Someone promising to get you more money back this year. Those are all too good to be true schemes, and go to someone that's trusted and insured. So that's pretty much what I had to talk about. That's a lot of information that's crammed into a couple slides. Hope I didn't bore you too much with that, but I wanted to give you the most important things that are going on in the city and on the Upper East Side as possible. With that said, I open it up to you. If anyone has any questions about anything that we went over or anything in general, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yes, I do have some questions.
Sure.
So my first question, you mentioned the passwords app. Are these safe to use?
So good question. I'm going to come back on the screen now so I can actually see you. Can you see me again?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. Good question. Always be skeptical of anything you download on your phone. So what I would say, like anything else, any other kind of service that I would recommend, is do your research. When you go to your app store, whether it's Apple or Android, Google Play, read the reviews. Make sure it's a trusted app that's not like all the way in the bottom of the apps. Read the reviews. If it's an Apple has it on their phone. Most times it is a trusted app, but read the reviews and let's see what people say. I have one of these apps on my phone that keeps it in there, secured. If you don't trust apps, then if you have a safe at home or someplace safe to place passwords, write them down in a way that only you know what they're for. So I wouldn't necessarily write Chase Bank password. I wouldn't do that in case someone gets a hold of it. they know exactly what it's for. So if you have a way of putting it in a secure manner, off of technology, do so as well. But it's always worth looking into the app before you download it to make sure it's a trusted app. Looking at the reviews, looking at the manufacturer who's created it and whatnot. iPhone already has a built-in app built in into the phone where it saves passwords. Apple's very secure at their devices, so it's called Keychain. It's already on
What
the
is
app.
it called? Keychain?
It's already, yeah, it's on the phone already. You may notice
Oh.
sometimes where the phone asks you to save a password.
Yeah.
It's going into the keychain on the iCloud, so it's already on your phone, and it will memorize your passwords for you, and you can update it as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it's keychain, all one word.
Okay. Okay. I have a second question. I promise it's the last. When you are told, because I'm being monitored by ID, Notify, something like that, Experian, it's what Experian is offering.
Yep.
And I noted that my cell phone number was in the dark web. So what does that mean? And what can you do about it?
Yeah, so phone numbers are not as scary as something like a social security number or bank passwords. That keychain app that's on the phone sometimes will tell you if a password has been compromised through a data breach. We hear about it all the time in the news. Wells Fargo data breach, Macy's data breach, some companies data breaches all over the place. That's why I highly recommend changing passwords as frequently as you can. I know it's a pain because memorizing passwords has become a bane to all our existence, because everything's asking you for password, everything's asking you to update passwords, and you don't want to use the same password for everything, because if they get a hold of one password, they can wreak havoc with everyone else, all the other accounts. So it is a pain, I understand, and I know. That's why I recommend the app or the phone that does it for you. But phone number I wouldn't be too concerned about, because our phone numbers are out there already. We put our phone numbers on everything now. When we fill out forms, when we fill out things online, they're everywhere. If you ever see a social security number become compromised, or something like a bank account number become compromised, then I would contact the Social Security Administration, or I would contact the bank, whatever it might be. But Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion also offer identity theft alerts as well. Like you just said, you have Experian or Equifax.
Yes, ID Notify. I think it comes from Experience.
Yeah.
Experience.
So each one of those companies offers some sort of protection for like searching the web and seeing if any of your information has been compromised. So that's also a good idea to do. There's something called LifeLock. There's Experian. There's Equifax, TransUnion. They all offer similar services. They do cost money, but they do a pretty good job at alerting you. Some alert and stop. Some just alert. So look into those services that will help you help you identify any kind of breaches. Phone number, not much you can do other than change your phone number at this point. And that's also a pain, because everyone has your phone number, and you'd have to go back through and contact everyone that has your phone number, make sure that they have your updated information. But I wouldn't so much be worried about a phone number as I would something with finances attached behind it.
And how can you stop all these scam calls and scam mail?
Scam phone calls are almost impossible to stop. I get them, like I said, on my work phone. So the government's trying. I've noticed a lot lately. Sometimes it says scam likely on the phone when someone calls. There are legislators trying to make the phone companies do more to help consumers. But as of this moment, there really is no way to stop them, unfortunately. It's just stopping when you get the phone call and recognize that it's a scam, to just hang up. And I would never antagonize. If you do recognize it's a scam, I would never antagonize the person on the phone. Don't harass them, because they have all day. They'll harass you back. Earlier I talked about the caller ID being manipulated, right? Remember I talked about that? These scammers, if you piss them off, they can actually start manipulating their phone number to look like yours. So when they call someone to scam them, they're using your phone number. And now you have all these angry people they may think that you're calling them and you're the scammer. So they have ways of making your life miserable. So if you recognize it's a scam, just hang up. And if you recognize it's a scam, but it's too late and you've already given money to that person, don't be ashamed. Please report it to us immediately. We may not be able to necessarily get your money back in most of these cases, unfortunately, but we want to know about it. This way we can inform people, and it's on record. So it's very important to let us know, and don't be embarrassed about reporting scams. Everyone say hello to Londa, our amazing custodian. So that's the question on that. Just do your research, find the app out there that's good, right for you, and find the company that's right for you as far as reporting any kind of breaches on your name or your social or any kind of identifying information. But there really is no way of stopping it. There is something called the National Do Not Call List, and that is out there to prevent telemarketers from calling you. But that only works for people that are legitimate. The scammer that's breaking laws is not going to follow no do not call list. So that's good to sign up to the National Do Not Call List for your generic scammer that's trying to sell you a timeshare or something. But the scammer that's looking to make buck off of you for pretending to be someone else is not going to work. So that's what the do not call list is for. But I'm sorry to say there's no way of stopping scam calls. I wish there was. I wish. Any other questions about anything at all? Jacob, Karen, Linda, Gemma?
I think we're all set, but thank you so much for